Let's move on from there. Let's talk about the when you were appointed minister in 2018, and then the establishment of the Inter-Ministerial Committee.
Chairperson, there has been a problem in KZN of political violence en masse, but after elections, it was some sort of organized kind of, and then the people were dying, especially at the level of local leadership politically and also the councillors. I've listened to say that it was more of the ANC councillors. No, it's across the board. Quite several of the NFP, ANC, IFP, even the AFF, DA, as we speak now, we're dealing with it. Those that are dealing with it, I left when they were dealing with it at Mpofana. The councillor that killed the family stood outside and banned the whole family and said his house has been banned. And I'm sure that guy didn't know that there's something called forensic. And the forensic discovered that he has done it, he has been sentenced and all that. It's happening. So, President visited the murder scene of Minister Mchunu, who was a councillor there in Maritzburg. And from there, he made a call on the ministers of, I guess, were 4 ministries. That was police, defense, justice, this was together with the correctional service, and state security. So he says the ministers of these ministries, for me, interministerial is made by ministries rather than ministers. That's my understanding. That interministerial is made by ministries. Why so? Because those ministers immediately went to KZN. Was a Minister of Police, Cele, was a Minister of Justice, Masuta, was a Minister of State Security, Duba. The term was a Minister of Defense, Mapisa Ngagula. And then when the elections came, and then there was a Minister of Police, and there was Minister of Justice, who's not Masuta now, but Lamula. There was a minister later, Mdise, and there was initially there was only a deputy minister when it comes to state security, which was Zizugotwa, and later Njabeni came on board. So they continued with the interministerial because these ministries were there. So interministers is ministers that move, but ministries, they stay there, and whoever is there continues. That's how I understand.
So what was the mandate of the Inter-Ministerial Committee?
The mandate was to go to KZN, specifically, sort the political violence, the matters that were taking place there, which were quite bad. Almost every week, a political figure was dying there. So, was to go there and sort that thing, investigate, arrest, prevent, and stabilize the province. So when we went there, there was a committee, or there was some sort of a team that was provincially working there, led by General Qiliza, and then there will be Brigadier Makashalala, who is here in Western Cape now. There would be Chiga, who was a head of intelligence in KZN. We sat there as this interministerial. We were given the report. We all agreed, without taking it further, that there is a zero work on this death that is happening here. So we had then, according to the interministerial, try to start something better. So different ministers had to work on their departments. I remember that there was a big meeting of officials that was called. I can't remember, but Dr. Kulube was in defense, were there. I think the DG of Justice were there, the DG, National Commissioner or Provincial Commissioner of Correctional Service were there. Those officials, they had to go and hash the plan and report to the Inter-Ministerial. How are they going to do what the Inter-Ministerial, under instruction of the President, had to do?
So it was a multidisciplinary team that was going to be established.
Indeed,
from different departments.
Exactly so. But most prominently would have been the police and prosecutors, because prosecutors had to direct the investigations. But one department that is not mentioned now and again that played a prominent role was correctional service. Why correctional service? Because people arrested, they still gave direction from prisons who to eliminate and all that. The only cutoff was to take people to Kokstad, so which is a prison where you can't communicate with anybody. So the Minister of Correctional Service had to make the way and open that most of people that are arrested under this killing must be taken there. The other thing that was requested there, these cases were delaying, so was if we could get the special courts to deal with them so that they're gone through and then people are arrested and all that. So these departments were really working together, from the ministers to the top officials and down to the real team that was working down there.
General, can I just refresh your memory? Can you go to Annexure BC2, which is on page 11. It's an annexure.
Annexure
BC2 on page 11.
BC2.
You got it?
I'm actually the annexure. Oh, okay.
You see, those are described as speaker notes by the Minister of Police, Bekhi Cele, political killings, and it is dated the 3rd of, is it August? 3rd of August, 2018. Do you want to run through that? Because this would have been immediately or shortly after, no, not immediately, shortly after the establishment of the task team. So you'll see a number of very relevant aspects of the Inter-Ministerial Committee dealt with there, to refresh your memory.
Yes, I do see. And as you read down that, the team comprises of 126 members led by Acting Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant Mchunu and Brigadier Ngwenya and Khumalo. The National Prosecuting Authority has also dedicated 16 experienced seasoned prosecutors. So from there on, the team kicked in as an interministerial or a multidisciplinary approach. So others would follow, like courts, but this one immediately kicked in.
And at the and subsequent to this, the Nkwenazi and Khumalo, they would report on a 2-yearly base, or they would report to the Inter-Ministerial Committee twice a year on progress or on what they were doing, and you would then hold the press conference, the IMC, and you were, because you're the key person involved as Minister of Police, you would then address the media based on the reports you were getting from the political killings task team?
Well, there were several of these briefings. People responsible will be invited to go
so
down.
If you're there, you can see. I'm referring to. Go to page 16 also of the annexures.
Page 16.
Annexure BC3 starts on page 15, and you can. There's a summary of the media briefings.
Yes.
And your
yes.
statements on page 16. 21 May 2018, 3 August 2018, that's the one you just referred to. 13 September 2018, March 2019, June 2021, February 2022, 6 September 2023. And I think your last press briefing was in March. It's not here, but in March 2024, that was the last press briefing.
Well, initially, these briefings were intense because of the work starting, but as the work happens, they become a bit slowly. But the members of the IMC will go and be briefed. Mostly will be briefed by the officials of the departments, having been briefed by the task team. There will be members of the task team, especially the higher echelons like Kumalo, like Gwenya, like Mkhwanazi and all that, and those that would have been invited, and the prosecutors and the people from correctional service. I remember that Nele would be there. So that's how it would happen. And then there will be a media briefing. The media briefing, most of the time, it would not be sitting alone. There would be other members of the task team sitting there and giving update of what has happened with the task team going down, and that last meeting would be the 5th of September 2023. But that was not the last activity. The team itself was invited. The PKTT. I saw some N on it now. I'm not sure about it. So
Minister Mchunu put the N there in front.
I don't know N. So there were. There are two things towards the end, towards the election, that this team was doing. There is a major operation that they do at Kwanongoma, where Mbangazita comes from, where in the municipality, they have arrested the municipality manager, the finance manager, and the supply chain manager. They are all arrested by this team. So I had a lady called Diaz asking.
Before you get to the lady called Diaz,
fine.
Can I please interject you?
Okay.
You referred also to the 5th of September. That's 2023. That's an important meeting, an Inter-Ministerial Committee meeting. Can I refer you to paragraph 47 on page 17 of your statement?
Right. But this is 17. Okay.
Because this is important in the context of Minister Mchunu's evidence or contention that the PKTT had been dissolved.
Okay.
And that it was according to him, an illegal, unlawful structure since 2022. So just talk us through some decisions that were taken at that meeting on the 5th of September and who was in attendance.
Well, I'm sure the whole minutes could be available. So, present in that meeting, I think it was Cele, Lamola, Matale, and Dise and the Premier of KZN apologized. So that was interministerial then. And then I think 4 resolutions, that is on the 5th of September. It was attended, it was Lamola, Matala. But if you go to resolutions, 47-1, the first resolution was that Minister Lamola would engage the NPA on the matter of dedicated courts for political killings, which means there are activities of this committee that are still going on, have not been accomplished. One of them is this court issue. The second one is, the second resolution was the Minister Lamola was to deal with the issue of transfer of prisons to Koksat prison. There was a problem there. They will be transferred, and unknowingly to the team and the investigating officer in OP, somebody will take them back to where they come from and continue with their activities. So the minister had to deal with this, that those that are taken to Koksat, they stay in Koksat. Fourth one was that, third one, resolution was the success of the PKTT would be communicated in the media briefing to be held on behalf of the IMC. The media briefing eventually took place on the 6th, 2023. Obvious. 4, the final resolution was that the PKTT could not dissolve and that it must continue. That is the 5th September 2023 decision taken by the Inter-Ministerial.
Okay. So, what is your response to Minister Mchunu saying that the PKTT was disestablished?
By who?
Already since 2022.
Disestablished by who?
Well, it's not quite clear what he's saying, who said so. I think we have asked him, I think honourable members of the committee asked him, and that it's an illegal structure.
The President instructs the ministries. The ministers go there. The ministers call their relevant top officials of the department to bring all components together. They come together. The team is formed. The team starts the work, and will agree. Maybe you are not going on details of the success and all that. It continues up to the end of the 5th administration. Comes the 6th administration, it continues. And these interministerials, as these ministers, the new under the ministries, they are there. And it goes for election 2024. This is there. I don't remember anywhere as the chair and those that we're working with talking about dismantling this team at all. What I would also remember is that, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, on the 7th of March, 2024, the same team went to brief the president about the activities that they were doing in Fort Hare, since it was requested by the president to look at the matters of, we can come, how it came about on that one. So this is now March 2024. We're going for election March May. So this team is still active. I don't remember anywhere as a person that was almost involved at all in the understanding of activities. I don't remember the team being disbanded until I saw the letter that was written on the 21st December.
The 31st of December.
31st of December, when we're drinking and dancing.
Now, your view is captured at paragraph 49 on page 18.
Paragraph 49.
Yeah, on page 18 of your statement.
Okay. Yes, it is there. That's how.
You want to read that into the record?
In my view, PKTT was established by the IMC under the leadership of the President, and therefore only the IMC could disestablish it. I have heard in these proceedings the submission that no IMC had been established under the 7th administration. I submit that this argument is incorrect. The IMC consists of ministries that form the multidisciplinary team, not the political incumbents, the ministers, who may change with each administration. The IMC, therefore, continued to exist even under the 7th administration. The Minister of Police, therefore, had to consult with the IMC that had established the PKTT before deciding to disband it. Any disestablishment of PKTT would also have to be done in consultation with the departments that form part of the steering committee of the IMC that had oversight over the PKTT. I can add to say there is also a JCPS cluster. If maybe it's not very clear with the existence, JCPS cluster, which Minister of Justice and Minister of Police are co-chairs. It could have been discussed there. Maybe if really it doesn't, it could have been, the clearance could have been sought from the President that there is this, what do I do, does it exist or not? But you cannot just one swallow that makes summer here. Which is a Minister of Police that does not take on board the rest of everybody that is there to talk about this thing. I'm not going to make a conclusion whether it's illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but procedurally, I do not agree with it. The way that it has come through, it should have reversed the same way back.